All right, hello everyone. We are live. Let me share the live report. Hey, welcome in everyone. Hey, Jaren, it's good to see you. What's up, buddy? All right, we have Sargon. All right, Sargon, are you at least 18 years of age?
Yes.
Okay, and what pronouns do you go by?
What?
And what pronouns do you go by?
Can't you hear the sound of my voice, man?
Oh, that doesn't tell me what your pronouns are.
What you mean? You hear the sound of my voice? What do I sound like? A woman?
Woman and man has nothing to do with your pronouns.
What's a woman pronoun for a woman?
Whatever they want it to be.
What do you mean?
A woman might go by they
You would
them.
call a woman
They
a
also
her.
might they also might
You
go
would
by
call a
he him.
man a him.
Not always. So what are your pronouns? What
No,
pronouns do
always,
you go
all the
by?
time. In every
Well, I
scenario.
mean, you're demonstrably wrong because I meet men and women every day who go by different pronouns than what you think they should go by. I don't care what you think they should go by. They get to make the decision, not you. So, Sargon, what pronouns do you go by?
Yeah, I'm a man, bro. What you
Okay,
think,
well,
bro?
man's not a pronoun.
I'm a man, so obviously I would be a him, right?
Maybe you specifically.
Every man is a him, bro. I don't
So
know
this
what you're
is going to be a
talking about.
last chance to just answer me straight up. What pronouns do you
I
go by?
just did, bro. I'm a man. That means I'm a him.
That means you might be a him.
Okay, so I just answered your dumbass
Okay, so
question, bro.
you,
What's wrong
so
with
you
this
go,
guy,
so you
bro?
go by he him. I want to be clear.
Well, duh. Obviously, I'm a man.
Okay, since you couldn't
Come
answer the
here, like
question like
that's
a, you
common
couldn't
sense.
answer. Oh, I'm talking.
Even a two.
So I mean, imagine being such a coward that you can't just say, "Oh, I'm he, him." It's such a he had to go down a whole rant about
Common
how he
sense, you
hates
fucking
pronouns. What a
dumbass.
child! What a
Fucking
child! What a child! All right, Sargon. So,
common sense,
what
you
would be your
dummy.
best? So, Sargon, I'm assuming you're a Christian because I don't know any atheists
A
that act like this.
5-year-old.
So, Sargon, what would be your best evidence or argument that Christianity is true?
Even a 5-year-old would know that that's true. But anyways, let's
Okay,
move
so
on.
Sargon, we're just going to drop you and move on to the next guest when we get one in a minute, because you're obviously not an honest interlocutor. I don't think you actually came up to discuss the prompt. I think you came to cry about pronouns, if I think you did. That's funny. Imagine wasting your time to just cry about basic, grammar. It's funny. I'll never get tired of the people who cry about pronouns. It's funny. That's all right. Hey, we got our first crash out of the day. So, hey, Jaren, what's up? It's good to see you, Jaren. How you doing? Just chilling. Good to hear. Good to hear. My earphones don't fit very well. Messenger Martinez says you are false. No, I'm not false. Unlike your imaginary friend and your religion, I'm not false. Sorry. But hey, if you want to come up and you want to try to demonstrate that your irrational, Sky Daddy beliefs are true, you're more than welcome to come up and we can have a conversation about it. But oh, let me grab my Sprite real quick. I mean, sorry, my Seven Up. I left my Seven Up on the table. Hey, Elise, it's good to see you. Yeah, it's good to see you too, Elise. It's good to see you. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. Thank you, Elise. Thank you. I appreciate the heart. Thank you. Hey, Michael. Good to see you. What's up, buddy? Thank you, Elise. Thank you. Here's my help for your all go. Jesus, Bible, Trump, but that's helping the algorithm. Okay, fair enough. Very good. Okay, maybe it'll get some more Christians in here. Oh, did I share the live? I can't remember if I shared the live at the beginning or not. Let's do that anyway. We'll share the live real quick because I don't remember whether I did or not. I probably did, but I'll do it again anyways. There we go. What's that audio? What do you mean? Hey Nugget, what's up? What do you mean my audio? What's going on with my audio? Oh, is it because of the headphones I got in? Could be the headphones I got in. I got earphones in. Earbuds. I got earbuds in. I don't know how long they're charged for. I charged them. Oh, it sounds like a waterfall. Oh, okay. Let me hold on. Okay, is it better now? Does it sound better now? The quality is horrible. Oh, okay. We'll fix this. Okay, it's probably this one then. Hold on. Me. Okay, is it better now? Hmm. What does it sound like exactly? Like you said, like a waterfall? A fan. I mean, I guess I can just turn my fan off, or I'll turn it down. I'll turn it down. There you go. That's better now, right? Come on, you can't barely hear that now, right? Does it sound better now that I got my fan like really low? Okay, very good. All right, sorry about that, guys. I mean, people haven't been saying that they could hear it. I don't think. I mean, somebody said something about it the other day, and I just turned my fan around and they couldn't hear it anymore. But I don't know why. How suddenly a problem? Weird. It
Yo,
could be
you're wrong.
because
You're wrong.
I'm sorry. Okay, so Crystal, before we begin, I was gonna say something like that. I wonder. So I don't know if these earphones have a microphone in them or not. I wonder if it does. I'm not sure. Okay. That could be why you hear the fan better. But I turned the fan down, so you shouldn't be able to hear it now. Crystal, are you at least 18 years of age?
Yeah, I'm 22.
Okay, and what pronouns do you go by?
Him.
And I can only assume you're a Christian.
Yeah.
Okay, and what would
Evangelical.
be your best evidence or argument that Christianity is true?
The Bible.
Okay, so what about the Bible, for example, the New Testament, right, or the Old Testament? What about the Bible would lead me to believe that Christianity is true, right? Because from my point of view, right, when I look at the New Testament, right, and it tries to make the claim that Jesus was fulfilling prophecies from the Old Testament, right? But then I actually look at those prophecies and they have nothing to do with Jesus. Why would that make me think that that Christianity is true, right?
Yeah, so Jesus, bro.
Yeah, but what about the what about him?
Yeah, so he's God. That's
Yeah,
why.
yeah. Can you substantiate that claim?
Yes, so he did miracles and
Yeah,
stuff.
you'd have to. Can you substantiate that claim?
So it's in the Bible.
Okay, well, the Bible is a book full of contradictions, historical, scientific, textual anachronisms, and demonstrable falsehoods. So why should I think the Bible is true if you think it makes the claim that he's God?
Because it makes more sense than the
No,
other
it doesn't actually.
texts.
No, it really
than the
doesn't.
Torah, Quran.
No, it doesn't actually. If you actually read the New Testament, it butchers the Old Testament really badly.
I can just believe in the New Testament though.
No, you can't, because the New Testament. Oop, my
No,
earplugs
why?
out.
Why?
Because the New Testament tries to quote the Old Testament, so therefore both have to be true.
You
Why?
just
Why
said
would the New
it.
Testament be quoting the Old Testament if you're not supposed to also believe in like the Old Testament?
Yeah, I'm not supposed to believe in the Old Testament.
So then, when the New Testament quotes the Old Testament, it's wrong.
Yeah.
Really? So it sounds like you don't really believe in the New Testament either. Then.
No, I do believe in it.
Okay, but why should we though? When it's full of contradictions, historical, scientific, textual
Show me a
anachronisms.
contradiction.
Yeah. So Matthew 2 and Luke 2, right? So Matthew 2 places Jesus' birth during the reign of King Herod the Great. Do you know when King Herod the Great died?
No.
He died around 4 BCE, right? The problem is that Luke
Oh.
2 makes a claim that Jesus was born during the census of Quirinius. Well, the census of Quirinius was in 6 CE, which means that there's a 10-year, at the very most, a 10-year contradiction here.
Yeah, but those are just like some wrong claims.
Yeah, I'll show you. So Matthew 2, right? We'll go to Matthew 2. Okay.
No, I'm not young. My voice sounds like this.
Okay, Crystal, what year were you born?
2002.
Okay, and what's a W-2 form? Yeah, you're a child. Goodbye. Now, to be fair, like he had like a little bit of an accent, so I don't know if he's actually from America or not. But the fact that he giggled after I asked him what a W-2 form is kind of leads me to believe that that's a child and that they were lying to me. And I don't like liars. In fact, Revelation 21 verse 8 says all liars go to the lake of fire. Wow. But like, it makes no sense to say, well, you can believe in the New Testament, but not the Old Testament. That doesn't make any sense because the New Testament treats the Old Testament like it's true, right? And they're just refining things from the Old Test. Like the idea behind the New Testament is that they're trying to essentially like rewrite the Old Testament. Like they're not saying that the Old Testament's not true or anything. Is it to say like, oh, I can believe in the New Testament, not the Old Testament? Makes no sense. Oh, he was a troll too. He says, "I'm an actual atheist, man. Sorry for trolling, bro. You're a good guy, my man." Well, listen, Crystal, thanks for coming up, but I didn't appreciate that. But yeah, thanks for coming up, and thank you for letting me know. All right, we'll bring up F. I'll just call them F. F, are you at least 18 years of age? Okay, while we're waiting for them to load in, thank you all for the support. I really appreciate it. Oh, and they did not load in. Okay. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for the support, the likes, the shares, the gifts. I really appreciate it. So thank you all for the support. It means a lot. Bring up Mark. Oop, we'll bring up Mark. Mark, are you at least 18 years of age?
Hello? Hello?
Hey, Mark, are you at least 18 years of age?
Yes, I am.
Okay, what pronouns do you go by?
Him.
Okay, do you believe that Christianity is true?
Yes.
Okay, what would be your best evidence or argument that Christianity is true?
Yeah, I would say I'm gonna run a reductio of the opposing worldview. Either it's a true dichotomy that either God exists or God does not exist. Would you agree? This would be just the law of identity in motion, or sorry, the law of excluded middle in motion, P and not P.
Sure, why not?
Okay, cool. So let's examine the possible options. Let's take the not God option. If not God, then specifically, logic has no coherent ontology. If you're an
Could you
atheist,
substantiate that claim?
yeah, I'm going to do it. Logic can only be one of three of the following categories as an atheist. Either either something that's conceptual in the mind of humans, some kind of physical law or physical particular, or merely just a nominalistic token. Any other kind of ontology you're going to give for logic is just going to collapse back into one of the three.
So you're going to run tag?
No, I'm not running tag. I'm running my own argument.
Well, your own argument's not really good so far because you already got it. Yeah, logic is a conception.
What's the problem with the...
So logic is a concept that humans came up with that describes the universe. That's all it is. You have no way to ground logic. You have no way to claim that logic is grounded in God at all.
Okay, cool. No. You've chosen a route, so let's go with it.
Because tag, which I know you say you're not trying to run tag, but that's part of tag, right? Is making the claim that logic is transcendental
I get
and grounded in God.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay,
so
bro.
every time you try to talk over me, nobody can hear you. I don't know if you know this, but I can mute you, and also I can just raise my voice a little bit higher, and then my audience can hear me, and they can't hear you. So Mark, I will never let you talk over me on my own live. All right, we'll just get that out of the way now, okay? I'm in charge here. I got the mute button. All right, I'm trying to explain something to you. So you talking over me is not going to work. It'll never work. I will never let you do it, Mark. Okay? So Mark, logic is just a description of how the universe behaves. That is all it is. It's a concept that humans have come up with. So you got it. Yes, within my worldview, logic is just a concept that humans come up with, and we've looked at the universe around us and we've said, hey, it appears to be that this can or can't be the case, right? So we've come to the conclusion that something cannot exist and also not exist at the same time, right? We've just examined the world and we've determined, hey, that's not something that can happen. You can't have something that exists and something that doesn't exist, right? The law of non-contradiction, correct?
Okay, so you've chosen one of the routes. You've chosen conceptualism. Let me show you why this results in a contradiction. Are human beings contingent particulars themselves?
Break that down.
Can a human being fail to exist?
Can a human being fail to exist?
Yes.
I mean, a human being could not be born. So yeah, technically a human being could fail to exist.
Okay, cool. So then if a human can fail to exist, there's no reason by which we can assume that the entire set would be metaphysically necessary either. So
yeah, break that down.
Break that down. Yeah, so
Mark,
I'm trying to stop interrupting me.
Mark, so here's how we do Phil Bros, right? When we do Phil Bros is what I do is I ask them to break down their terms, okay? Speak to me like I'm your grandmother, okay? Because I'm not a philosophy person. I don't know any big philosophy terms or anything like that. I actually studied a real topic. I studied the Bible, right? So I need you to actually break down the things that you're saying to me, right? So when you make a claim based on philosophy, I need you to break it down for me.
Yeah, okay, so let me explain. When I say that the entire set of humans, I'm just talking about all humans that have that exist in this world. All I'm saying is if that collection of humans is not metaphysically necessary, all I'm saying is that there is at least one possible state of affairs where there exists no humans.
Yeah, but could you demonstrate that though?
Yeah, it's a logical possibility given from a synthetic entailment of.
Well, no, I agree. Particulars. No, I agree. It's definitely possible that humans don't need to exist. Nobody said they do. I don't see how that's how that's
here's the problem. Let me demonstrate the problem now. If there is a possible world where humans can fail to exist, then that means that there is a possible world where logic can fail to exist. Because
false.
You just said no, hold on, dude.
False.
Stop interrupting me.
False, and I'm going to explain why. Because I've already explained that. So logic is a concept that describes the universe, right?
That's in human minds, dummy.
Okay. So logic is a description of how the universe behaves. This is how I know you weren't listening, because I already explained this. Logic is a description of how the universe behaves, right? Would the things it's describing still be there? Would those things still be true? Yes. It's just there'd be no one around to describe them, right? So, for example, in the law of non-contradiction, something cannot exist and also not exist. P can also not be not P, right? For example.
That's not necessarily true if it's only a concept in human mind, silly.
But it's a description of how the universe behaves,
You're
right? Okay, can you show
out.
me? Then can you show me something that can exist and also not exist?
So this is going to be a modal scope fallacy.
Yeah, show me something. No. I'm asking you. I'm asking you to show me something right now that can exist and also not exist.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now. I'm showing you the error in your reasoning. So
you're not though. I'm asking you for something now. I'm asking you very specifically. I want you to show me. I don't know if you know this, Mark, but you'll never be able to interrupt me on my own live. You'll never be able to do it. All right. I will always just mute you, and I'll make sure that the audience can hear me and not you. I don't like you talking over me, right? I'm not going to let you do it. So I'm asking you for something and you're not providing it. So I'm asking you, right? Human beings, right? When we've conceptualized what logic is, and we've conceptualized what contradictions are, right? We've understood that something cannot exist and also not exist, right? So there's not going to be something that exists and also cannot exist. That's not something that actually exists within logic. So I need you, if you're going to argue that, it's just a concept, well then show me how that breaks down. Show me that there's something that can exist and also not exist. Good.
Yeah, so what you're doing is you're actually smuggling in that the laws of logic are necessary universal norms.
They're descriptions of how the universe behaves. That's all they are.
Oh, so you can interrupt me, but I can't interrupt you. This is fantastic. Thank you for your sophistry.
Be honest, Mark. be honest with yourself, Mark. It's a description of how the universe behaves, right?
Dude,
That's just how it
if
is.
they are just conceptual schemes in human minds, then they're not metaphysically necessary. How dumb
They're
are
just
you?
a description of how the universe behaves,
In
though, Mark.
human
I don't know how hard
minds,
this
so that
is.
means they're contingent particulars, dummy.
They're just descriptions of how the universe
They are
behaves. Are you arguing?
contingent
Are you
particulars.
now arguing that the universe has to be grounded in God?
You're
I would love to
smuggling
see.
in.
I
You're
would love to
smuggling
see you
in what
provide
your
evidence.
worldview disallows.
I would love you to provide evidence for that claim. Mark, I don't think you even understand philosophy. I don't think you're doing a very good job at this.
This is
You're failing. You're failing
This
really
is
bad. I know
pathetic.
it is. I agree. It's very pathetic that you're failing so bad. In front of 26 people, and eventually a lot more because it's going to go on YouTube, and a lot more people are going to see you failing at philosophy. You fail to
I'm pretty sure they're
substantiate your
gonna see
claim
that I'm right.
that logic has to be grounded in God, because I've
Yeah,
just
you keep
explained to you
committing
that
a moral scope fallacy.
logic is a description of how the universe behaves. It's a description of the world that we live in. That's all it is. So you have no evidence that that's grounded in God.
Yeah, so that's just going to be a modal scope fallacy.
And the worst, and you know what the even worst part about this is that this has nothing to do with Christianity either. Like you know, the initial topic was, is Christianity true? And you ran from it. You went to philosophy instead of actually talking about Christianity. Double L
I
for
haven't
you.
gotten to run my argument because you're just a fucking sophist.
I'm actually smarter than you are. I bet you
Oh,
if we go
really?
to the
Can you
Bible,
tell
I
me
bet
what
you
a
you'll get
moral scope
absolutely
fallacy is?
roasted on
Can
the
you tell me
Bible.
what a
Because
moral
unlike
scope fallacy
you,
is?
because unlike you, Mark, I studied a real topic. I studied the Bible, right?
Can you tell me?
Phil bros don't even understand philosophy. I bet you if I brought up sticks up here, sticks would cook your ass on philosophy.
Holy yeah! Can you tell me what a modal scope fallacy is?
I do not care because I
Oh,
don't.
you don't
I
know.
didn't study philosophy. I told you. I didn't. I already told you. Yeah. Can you tell me?
You're an
Can you
idiot.
tell me? Can you tell
Holy
me
crap.
what? Can you
Holy
tell me
crap.
what
You're
the
not wasting my
messianic?
time.
Yeah. Can you
You're
tell me
not-
what the messianic prophecies are, Mark? Can you tell me what that is? Yeah, he ran because he can't. See, this is the problem. Is I didn't study philosophy. I've never claimed that I have studied philosophy. I've studied the Bible. I've studied a real topic. That's what I studied. And then Mark wants to come up here with a terrible philosophical argument that doesn't actually demonstrate anything because I poked holes in it really easily. And then when I ask him something about the Bible, he runs because he doesn't know the Bible. I know the Bible. I've read it. I've studied the Bible. I studied a real topic, everybody. Not saying that philosophy can't be useful. Philosophy can certainly be useful, only when you actually understand it, right? Like, I have friends who know philosophy, and they can actually utilize philosophy. But Philbros, like that guy, Mark, do not do philosophy right. They don't understand it, right? He's come up with a very flawed argument that I poke holes in because it doesn't actually demonstrate anything. It's a shame. Anyways, what's up, Souls? How you doing?
I'm pretty good. How about yourself?
Good. What's up?
Just chilling. About to start
Just
getting ready
chilling?
for work.
I gotcha. Hey, Functional. Hi, good to see you. How you doing?
But yeah, that was insane.
It was painful to listen to. It's painful to hear him running an argument that's terrible and doesn't actually solve anything.
Right.
Like, I don't know what's hard to understand about this. Logic is a concept that we've come up with, and it describes the world. That's all logic is, right?
Right. Yeah.
So the next argument he would need to be making, right, I guess, and at least in the way I see it, the next argument he would need to make is why reality has to be grounded in God, right?
Well, yeah, I see that.
So, but he couldn't do that. Let's see.
Because I mean, like him saying what it's a moral fallacy or whatever. That all he's saying with that is like logic is basically a bad thing if it's not rooted in God. Is essentially
Right.
what he's trying to get out of that. It's like, dude, there was logic on this earth long before Christianity was ever even heard of. Like, I don't understand Christians.
Yeah, I don't think he understood Christianity either. Anyways, what's up, Jaren? How you doing? It's good to see you again. Let's see.
I am paid actor. That's a good name.
That's funny. Alrighty then. Everybody, make sure you're tapping that screen. Make sure you're liking and sharing and reposting and doing all that fun stuff. And maybe we get a Christian in here, somebody who actually maybe knows the Bible, at least a little bit. and somebody who's actually a serious interlocutor, because I don't think that last guest was actually a serious interlocutor. He didn't seem to be.
One thing I heard last night, and you can use this if you want for those particular Christians that don't like to do pronouns. If you don't already use it, you might have, and I just never heard you use it. I was watching Caleb Hammer last night, and this guy was just being egregious for no reason. But Caleb brought up a good point. He's like, look, he was saying, I don't quite believe, in the whole pronouns concept anyway, but I'm going to call somebody by whatever pronouns they identify as because they're still a person. They still exist. They're still... I can't remember exactly how he put it, but basically, they still matter because they're a person. You don't want to just go around being rude and purposely offending people just because you don't believe in something.
Right. That first guest was a clown. The first guest, the one who couldn't answer pronouns. I'm pretty sure I've had him up before I was actually uploading my streams or anything. And Sargon, because that name sounds familiar. I think he's also been on Justin's live before, Deconstruction Zone. I think he's been there too. Yeah, he's a joke. Sargon is a joke. Sargon is not a serious interlocutor. Oh, let me get rid of this transphobe in the comments real quick. There we go. Imagine being a transphobe. Transphobes are so pathetic. Anybody who's just against trans people is pathetic. It really is.
Again, whether you agree with what they're doing or not, they're still a person. They're still a human.
Yeah.
But, Christians are brainwashed that, anything outside of God is inherently bad.
Right. So maybe we'll get a guest in a minute. We'll see.
Self-sacrificial love proves God beyond matter. How? I'm the bride of Christ.
Okay. Oh. Fix that over. It's been bothering me.
Yeah, while you were dealing with Mark, or I don't know, it might have been the person before that, there was somebody in the comments that was talking about how the Earth is round and stuff like that, and they were denying the fact that the Bible says how the Earth is flat, or so they believed at the time. And I told him this. I told them this. It's like, I know you weren't here yesterday, but we literally discussed this yesterday in your live.
Yeah.
And like, well, I wasn't here. It's like, I just said that. I literally just said that.
I wasn't yesterday. It was the day before yesterday, right?
Oh, well.
I think so. I don't think it was yesterday. I wasn't here yesterday.
Oh, well, maybe it was the day before yesterday.
Creature, welcome back. Are you at least 18 years of age?
Oh, well, maybe it was the day before yesterday.
Hey, Johnny, can you hear me, man?
Yeah, Creature, are you at least 18 years of age?
Welcome back. Are you at least 18 years of age? Yes, I am.
Oh, well, maybe it was the day before yesterday.
Hey, Johnny, can you hear me, man?
I think you have a really big delay. I can hear a background echo.
There's a little bit of a delay there.
I think you have a really big delay. I can hear. Well, listen, Creature. There's a massive echo too.
Can you hear me a little bit better now, man?
Yeah, but there's like a giant echo in the background.
Can you hear me a little bit better now, man? Yeah, I was hearing that before I joined. I don't know if that's my phone or if it's something else going on.
I don't think nobody else has said anything about it. Listen, Creature, I'm gonna drop you back down for this a little bit. Try to come back up in a minute and maybe it'll be fixed. I don't know. Weird.
Maybe he was having the same problem I have sometimes, where his phone was on the charger or something, and it was echoing stuff back.
Right. I've never had that problem actually, because my phone's always on the charger. Well, almost always on the charger, and I never have an echo. I don't ever have that problem. Creature, welcome back.
Hey man, is it a lot better now?
Yeah, okay. So, what would be your best evidence of Christianity being true?
Yeah, man. So my main argument would probably be from a narrative perspective. So, like, the argument that I would make is, so let's say, for example, you go to the movie theaters and you watch like a Spider-Man movie, right? Like, we're a lot of times able to dive into the world of fiction, whether or not like Jesus was a real person. I think a lot of times that misses the whole point of it when we try to discuss, whether Jesus really existed or not. I think the main truth in all of that is the underlying messages and the core themes within that, right? So like when we watch Spider-Man, we understand that with great power comes great responsibility, right? The way that we kind of identify with the central character, even though it's pretty crazy to think that he got bit by a radioactive spider. That's obviously not realistic or logical. But I guess the argument that I'd make is that, to me, Jesus Christ represents the highest potential, like, archetypal self that we all have within us. And what I would connect that to is, our definition of like worship, where the things that we hold in highest regard and that we put above everything else is essentially what we worship, right? So for some people that would be money. And then I would say the problem with that is the temptation of greed, or if you're putting it into lust, right? Like, it's like, I'm trying to get a lot of people to sleep around with. That would be a problem for that. The only thing that I see that is uncorruptible is when you worship the highest potential self that is within you, or that you constantly make that a main focus.
But I don't need Jesus for that. I can be a good person without the need for Jesus. And that doesn't demonstrate whether Christianity is true or not. Something could have teachings that you think are good and still not be true. So whether it's, has teachings that you think are good or not is not going to be a thing of mine. What I'm asking you is it true? And what evidence would you have that it's a true religion? Like, for example, the book makes claims about Jesus, right? It makes a claim that he was the Messiah. It makes a claim that he did miracles, makes a claim that he rose from the dead, right? What evidence will we have of these claims that would demonstrate that the religion is true, right?
Well, see, I totally understand with where you're coming from, but that's kind of the part of like the idea of faith, right? Is like we make judgments and we make the kind of like a worldview perspective based off of not having the total picture of things. And I feel like Christianity does that better than most other religions. So, for example, like in Buddhism, a lot of the teachings is like, okay, existence is suffering, which I think we can all agree on that to some degree. But then it's like, okay, well then how would a Buddhist go about it? Well, they would transcend it, versus where Christianity is like, no, that's a like actual part of life, is the suffering that is in there. So what would a Christian do? You carry the cross and you follow after the image of Christ, right? So I guess the idea of Jesus Christ was to show like, how would you live as optimally as possible with all the like world coming at you? And I think like a lot of stories in literature, or even just other religions, they get like a partial picture of like what like the truest narrative sense of what the human condition is like, but I don't think anything nails it better than the Christian ethos.
But again, this doesn't tell me whether it's true, though. This is what we're going back to, is that the book makes claims, right, about Jesus. Like, are these claims true? I don't care whether you think that it has like good teachings. It's not a thing of mine. I'm asking you, is it true? Like, what evidence do you have that it's true, right? And you say faith. Well, faith is not a good criteria for what's true. So I mean, I don't really care about faith. Faith is not a good criteria for what's true. It's not a good methodology for what's determining what's true or not, because Muslims also have faith, and you don't think that they're right. So, I mean, I don't think that faith is a good criteria for a good methodology for just discovering what's true or not.
I understand what you're saying, right? So I think when it comes to really any religion, you're never going to get to a point where you're going to be able to logically explain it to a way that like proves it beyond shadow of a doubt that it's true.
Or just provide evidence.
I think what's that?
I said you could just provide evidence. I asked you what your evidence is. I didn't ask you to prove without a shadow of a doubt that it was true. I asked you what your evidence was.
Okay, so I feel like the best form of evidence are things that ring true to like the deepest part of our souls in a sense, right? And yeah, you can't put that on a piece of paper.
We don't have souls.
Okay, well that's fair. Okay, but I mean like ones that ring true to our subconscious, right? Like for example, like I was using the example of a movie where if somebody is like certain stories just don't stick with people because they don't do a good job of expressing the human condition or the human experience. And like, like again, the whole story itself, oftentimes with fiction, is completely wild to even accept any of that. But I think the main truth in all of that is the underlying message. And so when you ask it, what's that?
I don't care about what you think the message is. I'm asking you whether it's true, right? Like you can think that something has a good message. That doesn't mean that it's true, right? So, Preacher, I just don't think this conversation is going to be of any substance. So I hope you have a good day, but I'll see you later. Goodbye. This is I don't know. I asked for evidence like multiple times, and he couldn't give me any evidence that it was true. Like that doesn't. I don't care whether you think that the religion is good, or that you think that it has good teachings, or you think that it helps us. Like that doesn't tell me whether it's true. I mean, I'm not interested in whether you think that it's good or it's got good teachings, or whether you think that it helps you like discover human nature. That doesn't help me out any. Pretty sure I've talked to him before. I think he's the guy I talked to on the stream the other day. I could be wrong. Yeah, Digilism says he liked the message in the Jungle Book. Doesn't mean I live my life by it. Yeah, exactly. You can like a message in a book. Doesn't mean the book is true. Obviously, like there's a lot of good fiction books out there that have great messages. They have great messages behind them. Like Shawshank Redemption, the book, for example. Rita Hayworth in the Shawshank Redemption. Oh, our guest left. That's okay. We'll bring another one up in a minute. Like to me, the message of the book is just persevere through your struggles, and one day you'll get through it, right? Like that's a great message to have, but that doesn't mean the book is true. I don't believe there was a guy named Andrew Dufresne who was in prison and then he tunneled his way out with a rock hammer. I don't believe that this was a real person. That's nonsense. It's a fiction book, right? A fiction book can have good messages, so I don't care whether you think that a book has a good message or not. Like that's not gonna help me determine whether it's true or not. So I mean, what do you think, Souls? Souls?
Sorry. I was also distracted by Oak's side, and so I didn't really get what you were saying.
Fair enough.
Well, I caught most of it, and yeah, I completely agree. Like in Shawshank Redemption or whatever, just because, like, in the movie, the guy existed. It basically becomes a trust me, bro. If somebody was like, Shawshank Redemption is 100% real, that actually happened. Just because it was a movie, that becomes a trust me, bro. You know? But like Oak's side in the comments was like, well, God, hold on, let me get the exact. God determines truth. We uncover it. That's false, like inherently false. Like evidence is what creates truth. Like, otherwise it's just trust me, bro. I mean,
thank you, Richard. I appreciate the hurt.
But yeah, it's yeah.
I wonder how much charge these headphones have. I have no idea. I charged them the other day, but I don't know how long they last.
I guess if they die, then
Hey, Richard, good to see you. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
But yeah, it's MJ was live last night.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hey,
she really. Oh.
No, go ahead. Souls, you can finish. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I apologize.
Oh, I was just gonna say she really only had the one guess, but that's all I was gonna say.
They only had one guess.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm still kind of getting used to that.
All good. Dizzlism, what's up, buddy?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, listen here. I got your truth in Christianity right here. You see, everybody got a daddy. All right, everybody got a daddy. That
Okay.
and the way we know this, I go out in that deer stand, out in the middle of the woods.
Okay.
I see the ladder running up it, and I think there ain't no way the deer placed it there. Well, first of all, because it's the spot where you get shot, but that's beside the point. The deal about it is everybody got a daddy. Even that deer got a daddy. You trace daddies all the way back. Even though I don't know my daddy, don't mean he ain't my daddy.
Right.
Exactly. There you go. Checkmate, atheist.
How you doing, Dizzle? It's good to see you.
I'm doing pretty good. I am cooking up one of my favorite secret Southern things, which is you take some rice and you take a can of greens and a can of beans, you throw them in a rice cooker, and you throw some sausage on top of it, and you let it just cook itself.
Ooh, sounds good.
It's a lazy meal, and it's delicious.
Sounds good.
But I wanted to remind you all to take your medicine, drink some water, and take care of one another.
That's a good message. Very good.
All right, I'm gonna hop back down so you can get some more folks in here.
See you, Dizzle. Catch you later, buddy. Everybody, make sure you go follow Dizzleism.
No, what Dizzle said wasn't in Shawshank Redemption, so I don't believe it. That's not a real message.
Hey, I don't know if nobody is following the greatest religion in the world, the religion of Andrew Dufresne. Andrew Dufresne showed us how to break free from our oppressors. He showed us how to get away from the prisons within inside ourselves. He showed us how to take a rock hammer of justice and break through the walls of confinement.
It's like the episode of Family Guy whenever they start the Church of Fawns.
Right, yeah, I remember that. Mm-hmm. And then they do the A's and O's, and he's like, all right, let's get everybody.
All of the people went, A.
That's one of my favorite scenes in The Martian, too, is when he's sitting there watching Happy Days. And he's just sitting there on his bunk. It's like a great scene where he's just talking to himself. Yeah, a great movie, The Martian, great movie.
It's been a while since I've seen that, so I don't really remember that scene, but like I said, it's been years since I've seen that, so...
Brady Stark says Josephus. I'm
old. My mind is.
I believe he's responding to Jordan, who said there's no evidence for any of it, and he says, and then Brady replies Josephus. So Josephus does not actually write about Jesus. Well, he might write about Jesus as a person. So there's a passage in Josephus's Testimonium Flavianum where Christians think that he's talking about Jesus, but it's interpolated, right? So he's either talking about Jesus as a person, or he's talking about not Jesus at all. And the whole thing's just interpolated, right? Essentially, Eusebius is likely responsible for the interpolation because it matches his handwriting style, but it does not match Josephus' style. It also uses verbiage that Josephus never used. It's very interesting to see this. Well, we had a guest, but they're not here anymore. Oh, well. Red Sox 9876 asks, was Jesus a real person? Do you believe he existed? I believe that there was probably a person named Yeshua Bar Yosef who was walking around, that area, what is now modern day Palestine, right? And he was, he was asking, he was trying to get people in on his cult, and eventually he made claims about himself, and those claims were the reason that he was executed, because he made claims that the Romans did not like. He also broke the law, so yeah. So yeah, I think there was probably a person named Jesus. I don't think he was the Messiah. I don't think he was the Son of God. I don't think he was God. I think I think those are nonsense claims that the authors came up with later. The authors of the Gospels.
I believe something similar, but I don't think his name was Yeshua. Of course, that might have been, what they called him because just of their native language. So as far as that part, that could be something. Obviously, I don't really know what the native language was back then, but basically same thing. Only I think, he was called Jesus. But again, that was That's, from my interpretation of the English language we have today, as opposed to what his name could have actually been back then. Because what was it? Yahweh is like the name of like a Canaanite chaos storm god or something like that. Technically, so I know you didn't say Yahweh, you said Yeshua, but still,
right.
But yeah, as soon as I heard that, I was like, so Thor has many names? But
all right, we have a guest. Her name is Dyson. Oh, their request was canceled. Okay. All right, we're going to do a quick restart and we'll be right back.
I